Thank you, Anila. Please, if you
Okay.
can start with the Gita sloka, that will be our starting point. Thank you, Anila. Please start now.
Thank you so much. Before I start, just wanna say good morning to everyone. And yeah, this is Gita chapter 1, verse 2. Sanjaya Uvacha Trishtavatu Pandavanikam Vyutyam Durodhanastada Acharyam Upasangamya Raja Vachanam Abravit. And I will do the translation as well. Sanjaya said, on observing the Pandava army standing in military formation, King Duryodhana approached his teacher, Durnacharya, and he said the following words. Okay.
Okay, thank you, Anila. Thank you very much. Thank you. Okay, I'll share now Bhagavad Gita Research Foundation website, and hope you can see my screen now. Is it okay, Dr. Datta? Can you see us? See my screen?
Yes, we can.
This is our home page. I'll go through one by one, so you have some understanding what we do.
Sorry,
and,
1 second. Should I
yeah.
do another one or
You want to continue another one? Okay, please quickly. Yeah, you can do another one. Yes.
Pashyatam Panduputranam Acharya Mahatim Chamu Yuddham Drupada Putrena Tava Shishena Dhimati. Duryodhan said, respected teacher, behold the mighty army of the sons of Pandu, so expertly arrayed for battle by your own gifted discipline, the son of Prupad. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. Pranam. Namaste. Thank you, Anila. Thank you.
No
Okay.
problem. Sorry
I'll
for
continue.
being late. I just want to apologize at the beginning. I was a bit late. I really want to apologize for that.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. I'm sharing the Bhagavad Gita Research Foundation website. Okay, that's the home page. You can, as you can see. Okay, then I'll go one by one. So you have some to know about our vision, our mission. Okay. Our vision to be a means of which more people discover or rediscover the treasure and meaning of the Bhagavad Gita. I'm not going to read out today. As you know, this BGRFUK.org, that's our website. Whenever you have time, please check our website and you can get some more ideas. You know, journal. So I'll go to journal page to, I hope you can see the journal page at the moment. Nityananda Chakraborty, he is editor-in-chief. And when you go to journal page, obviously you will see all the how to submit manuscript, submission guideline, call for paper, and all related with journal. So anybody interested to publish any journal, please, if you can visit this page and get some idea. And then I'll go to the home page again to go to, and okay, this is Symposium as what we are having, doing now. So this one is, we have today, Dr. ACHLA Shetty, she is our speaker today. That's also our in our website. You can also go there and send some advice. We also organize conferences. That's we do yearly, and then also a little talk about our membership. So if anybody want to be a member, we have two category: individual membership. We have fellow membership, or yeah, Dr. Datta, can you co-host Joy, please, or Anindo?
Yeah, if you can make me co-host, then I can mute everybody else.
Yeah, control the sound, yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's, yeah, you can.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you very much. And also the BJRF policies, all copyright policy and complaint procedure, all are here. And I just quickly go through the gallery. That's we keep all our photos and videos from our past event. That's what we had recent Yasna. So some picture you can see. And if you, as I said, interested to contact with us, I'm just sharing the mobile number as well as our email. So if you're interested to send an email, is info@bjrfuk.org. Thank you very much. As I said, the Bhagavad Gita Research Foundation is registered as a charity, the Charity Commission in England and Wales. So thank you. If you can mute yourself, please. Thank you very much. I will stop sharing the screen now. But please remember the website is bgrfuk.org. So you can visit and get some idea about Bhagavad Gita Research Foundation. Thank you very much all. Please, if you can mute yourself so we can all hear each other. Otherwise, if you want to talk, you can just raise your hand so we can, if you have any question, please raise your hand, or you can type, use the chat box. Thank you very much. I'll now introduce Anindo Dasgupta. He is the General Secretary and also Honorable Trustee of Bhagavad Gita Research Foundation. Please, Anindo, please, if you can start and introduce our speaker so she can start the today's program. Thank you very much and namaste.
Hello. Hello, welcome all. In today's symposium, we are actually looking forward to a sort of basically great deal of knowledge from Bhagavad Gita. But before I give the sort of basically introduction to the speaker, there's some decorum. Decorum meaning everybody who is attending in here, we've got many participants and many more would be joining in the middle. Please, can you keep the sound level to the lowest possible way? If you mute yourself, then that would be, and only speak at the end of the lecture rather than in the middle. That would be really helpful. And if you have a question, just put the question in the chat. We will go through the questions after the presentation of 40-45 minutes. We'll go through each and every question, and as many that Dr. ACHLA can answer, and she'll be answering that. And that's a decorum we must follow, or to have a sort of orderly symposium today. Right now I'll give some introduction of Dr. ACHLA SITHI. She has actually written the nice introduction for her, which I'm very delighted to kind of read out in here. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have gathered here today for an intellectual feast served with military flares and medieval marvels. Today, we have the privilege of hearing from Dr. ACHLA SITHI, a former general physician in the Indian Army. Now from the front lines, she marches into the fray once more, armed not with bow and arrows, neither with syringes and stethoscope, but with wisdom gleaned from the Bhagavad Gita, the intricate tapestry of medical science and that ultimate equalizer we call death. Her journey from the trenches of the army to the halls of academia has equipped her with insights that transcend the boundaries of both medicine and military strategy. So buckle up and prepare for an enlightening expedition through the realms of philosophy, physiology, and ultimate transformation to the other life. Please join me in welcoming our distinguished speaker, Dr. ACHLA SITHI, as she leads us on a journey where the medical science, death, and Bhagavad Gita will converge in a symphony. Just to my addition, if you look at Bhagavad Gita, it was actually told in a battlefield. And Dr. SITHI, to her credit, she has got experience of working in a battlefield. So we get the Bhagavad Gita interpretation from the horse's mouth now who actually experienced the war and the sorrow and sadness and death and everything. So now over to Dr. Sethi. Please, if you can mute who is not speaking, just a speaker. Dr. Dr. Sethi.
You have to unmute, Dr. Sethi. You have to unmute.
Dr. Sethi, if you unmute and start.
Jai Shri Krishna. Today is my topic. Thank you, Anindya, for your nice introduction. The introduction was written by my daughter, who has got flair for English. She's an Air Force officer and a pilot, but her English is too good. So always, whenever I have to write an introduction, I request her. So that was a flowery English. I am not that. My English is just straight as a science student. So our today's topic is Bhagavad Gita, medical science and death. First of all, I am full of gratitude to BGRF for their noble mission and giving me this opportunity to speak on this platform. And so much gratitude for my immediate family members and dear friends for giving me insight into the topic and their wisdom, wholehearted contribution, and their support. So my offering is a combined offering, a bouquet from all of them. So sharing next. Once there is some snag. Next slide is not showing. One sec.
Sharing and then restart. Oh. Medical science of the Gita.
Please be patient with her.
Please, I request others to keep on mute so there is no disturbance while I'm speaking. Now we see a picture of Bhagavan Shri Krishna and Arjun, and they are in the battlefield because the teaching of Gita, the song of God, Bhagavad Gita is called by scholars Song of God, celestial song, was given this beautiful essence of life, to how to live life and how to do your action was given in the battlefield. And here Lord Krishna is there, and Arjun is there with his folded hands, full of faith, full of reverence, deep respect for the Lord. So what we see in this picture is a faith. Faith is a foundation of learning. Unless we have faith, we will not be able to absorb anything. It will be an intellectual jargon, intellectual discussion, just a futile discussion. We won't be able to absorb within and understand the theme. The faith makes a foundation, a strong foundation, whether it is a medical person or it is any aspirant. Faith in the Guru. So that faith we are seeing in Arjun. And Arjun is a mortal of today's time also, who needs these Gita, the wisdom of Gita, very desperately to live life. The chariot symbolizes the human body, and these horses are our senses. Our sensory senses, our five senses, mainly Jnanendriya, we call it, your nose, tongue, ear, eyes, and skin. So they have to be strained. They have to be under your control of your mind. And then with the wisdom of Lord, with the wisdom of Bhagavad Gita, we carry on this chariot of life, that is human body. The wisdom is timeless and ageless. This is supposed to be given about 5,000, maybe more. There is a confusion, but we don't go into those details. It was long back. It was as useful as for mighty Arjun. It is also similarly, it is so useful in today's time also for each one of us. It is a universal wisdom. It is an ageless and timeless wisdom, as I said. And the faith is a foundation. That is a basic thing which we have to keep in mind. The philosophy of East is an eternal cycle. It is in a cyclical fashion. There is a birth, there is life, and there is death. And there is again birth, life, and death. There's a cycle, and one can go out of that cycle. That is moksha or mukti. While living also, you can live peacefully. That is moksha. This is an eternal cycle which goes on. And there are various combination to this. The evolved souls, they can take birth again if they want, if they don't want. This is a philosophical aspect of the eternal cycle of East. Then there is a linear cycle, it's in the straight line of the West, which says there is a past, there is a present, and there is a future. So this is a basic difference in Eastern and Western philosophy. Coming to the medical science, since I am a allopath, my father of medicine is Hippocrates, and he's the first physician and a Greek. He was in Greece, and it was in 460 to 377 BC. Then there is Acharya Charak. He's the father of medicine of Ayurveda. He was in 300 BC. And both had documented very detailed principles of treating the human miseries, human diseases, and systematically recorded. And they observed keenly, and they advocated the treatment also. Hippocrates say that food is thy medicine. And Ayurveda also has got a lot of importance given to the food. So they were the great people who introduced these two systems of medicine to remove human misery and enjoy life and live it peacefully. Charak Samhita is a book in which the instructions for the Ayurvedic practitioners are given. They say that Yatha Pinde Tatha Brahmande, the reverse, the Yatha Brahmande Tatha Pinde, it is a Samveda saying, but it is given in Charak Samhita also. It means that whatever is in the body, it's so complex. It is so complex. Each system is so complex. You take a small eye, you take a small ear and go inside. Oh my God, so much wonders are there. Wonders are there in the human body. There is the immunity system, there is a cardiovascular system, endocrine system, you name it is there. So it's in the Brahmand also. It is huge beyond the human perception. So is the human body. Here are the scientists who are from sitting in the labs and working and seeing and coming out with new discoveries, new treatment, new drugs. They are the sages sitting in the labs and giving us the wisdom to treat human beings, this human body. This is a concept of Yatha Pinde Tatha Brahmande, or Yatha Brahmande Tatha Pinde. Even Acharya Charak also elaborately described about it in his Charak Samhita. Now we come to health. Health is so important for our human existence on this earth, to live peacefully, to live joyfully. And I would be covering the wisdom of Bhagavad Gita and our modern science simultaneously on these aspects. These are the headlines. So health is a state of complete physical, mental, emotional, social, and spiritual well-being. It is a state of combination of these all factors, and it is not merely absence of disease. One has to be exuberant with energy. keeping in balance all these aspects of the health. Then we see this, what in Bhagavad Gita, these terms come again and again. So Prakriti, there is a Prakriti and there is a Purush. Prakriti is nature, Mother Nature. From that, everything comes. And Purush is a consciousness. So from Prakriti, Mahat comes. That is a cognitive capacity of the mind. Then comes Buddhi, the discriminating capacity of the mind. Then is Ahankara. And Ahankara manifests actually. So the body is a manifestation of Ahankara. And later on, as I go ahead in the symposium, the Ahankara is very, very strong force to get over, to control. It is so deep because we are manufactured out of Ahankara. Then there are 5 organs of perception. I said ear, eyes, nose, throat, throat, mouth, and this tongue inside. And there are 5 organs of action: your hands, your feet, your jananindriya, they call it genitalias, and organs of excretion, the organs of reproduction. 5 tanmatras and 5 gross elements. Tanmatras is what you perceive, and 5 gross elements are that fire, earth, akash, water, and these are the 5 elements. I fire, earth, air, and water, and third one, earth, yeah. So these are the 5 elements. So we are manufacturing everything out of these 5 elements. Whatever we see on this earth in the material form is out of these finally. And the scientists also confirm that when we see the human body, the body has got organ. The organs are combined, make a system. And when we go into each organ, there is an individual cell. And in the cell, so much is happening. So much is happening. The electron microscopes have proved that, this respiration, there's an organ of respiration called mitochondria. There is an organ of, there is a nucleus which synthesizes different protein. And cell you can't see with the naked eye. And so much is happening. What I said earlier, Yatha Brahmande Tatha Pinde. Each cell is so complex and so many things are happening. If the virus attacks, there is an antigen-antibodies reaction taking place. The drugs are acting on the cell surface. So it is happening at a very, very subtle level. Then we come to the physical aspects of health, where the chapter 6 of Bhagavad Gita, verse 17. I might use the word shlok for verse at times because I am in habit of using shlok. So this says, Yukta har viharasya, Yukta cheshtasya karmasu, Yukta sapnava bodhasya yogo bhavati dukha. So here is a guideline 5,000 years ago given to us. Those who are temperate in eating and recreation, balanced in work, and regulated in sleep, will have no sorrow by practicing yoga. This stands today also. There is a special branch which says the lifestyle diseases these days. Because of the changed lifestyle of the human being, so many diseases are coming up. There is a sedentary lifestyle. There you are exposed to the more screen time. And though the ophthalmologists keep telling you that no, every 20 minutes take break, look here, there, but you're so engrossed in your job, in your work, that you forget that you have to take a break. Then, so here he's saying moderation. Moderation in your action is required. If intensity is required, go ahead. Do it intensely, but then take a pause, then take a rest. But today's lifestyle, we are just running, not aware of our system, not aware of our bodies, not aware of our indriyas, and we are just doing, or entertaining ourselves endlessly, forgetting the importance of rest. And that is the main cause. Lifestyle diseases are coming up. The youngsters, the girls are having PCODs, that is a polycystic ovarian disease, where they have a menstrual disorders and conceiving also. So this is basically can be reversed with the lifestyle changes. Then there are diabetes. Diabetes can be reversed because of sedentary habit and not taking right amount of food, right kind of food. The diabetes comes up. And many more diseases are there, which there's a whole program on the lifestyle management, and every doctor will say sleep in time, get up in time, do adequate exercise. Everything is known to everyone. But we forget. We are so engrossed in a particular work that we forget to look after our body the way we should. And then there are disorders. Then sleep disorders come up, the psychological disorders come up, and they are basically because of the lifestyle problems. So a simple thing, a simple solution is given in this verse 17 of chapter 6. And if we follow that, we can be away from so many problems in our life. Then a lot has been happening in the medical fraternity also. They say there's a mind-gut connection. The gut is a second brain. In last 10 to 15 years, a lot of research has taken place. When you go to doctor, you hear that prebiotic, probiotic capsules you give of vitamin, and they are researching, and they have come out that the fermented food is very good. They did a lot of research in the areas and the tribes and the communities which were taking fermented food. Their gut was very healthy. And the gut is the second brain, as I call. So earlier we have heard from our elderly people, "Jaisa ann vaisa man." Jaisa ann, the food, the kind of food you take, your mind will be similar. So we have tasted the divine food. I hope everybody has tasted when we go to the place of worship, in mandir, in Gurdwara, or anywhere. What prasad we get. It tastes so divine. It tastes so nice. It's simple. In Gurdwara, you're offered simple meal, a chapati and a sabji, and it tastes so good. So there are three gunas basically: satogun, rajogun, and tamogun. Three gunas. The satogun is sattvic food. I will not go into very much detail because then I'll go on for 1 hour on sattvic food and rajasic food and tamasic food. In short, I'm telling, and a lot of actions in Gita are described on these lines. Sattvic, sato, and rajo, and tam. The sato is serene. Generally scholarly people, what kind of food they have to have: a simple food, because they are not exerting from their body much. So this have to be boiled food, a soup maybe, and a little nuts and like that. No, you cannot have fried stuff. The Rajogun people who are exerting a lot, they can digest. They can digest. The helpers in our house who are helping us clean and mop, they're sweating a lot. They need a rich food. They cannot survive on boiled food. Their body needs a nice amount of food and fats and oils. Then there is tamas food, tamogun food, and which causes lethargy, stale food, heavy food. The mind will not be active. So like I said, jaisa anna vaisa man. So now the medical science is also proving that there are a whole lot of microbes in your gut who are friendly, and they make you happy. That much of research has gone that there are happy bacteria and viruses when they are there in your gut, your mood is good. So medical science is reaching to the realm of Gita, the subtle realms of Gita, with their dedicated hard work and research. And then we come to the mental health, where the chapter 6, verse 35 says, "Asanshayam mahabahu, mano durnigraham chanam, abhyasen tu konte vairagyen chagrahati." Lord Krishna says, "O mighty armed son of Kunti, the mind is indeed very difficult to restrain, but with practice of detachment, it can be controlled." We all know mind has got so many faculties inside. It's a universe in itself. So much is happening. Your respiration is getting controlled. Your heart rate is getting controlled. Your body circulation is monitored. Your pulse rate is monitored. Everything is happening without your knowledge. So much is happening in your brain. There are different parts of the brain, and the mind is something. Brain is the organ. Mind is beyond it. It can't be seen. The mind, there are some certain impressions which your Gyanendriya, which you call your nose and all, as the sensing, your ear is hearing, your eyes see. It goes to mind, and then it goes to your cognitive faculty in the brain, and then you perceive it. And then comes the role of buddhi, where it is analyzed, and then you take action. So,
or husband and numbers, or husband.
Would you please mute everybody?
So this is a very, very complex faculty, the mental faculty. And indeed, what Lord Krishna is saying, that asanshayam mahabaho mano durnigraham chalam, it is very difficult to control mind. But abhyasi, in practice. And here, the medical graduate, medical postgraduate, medical supergraduate always practice. We are medical practitioner for life. They're just learners and learners. The body-mind complex is so deep. It is so vast that we remain learner throughout our life. That is the intricacy of the medical science. And rather any other science, I must say. When you go deeper, it's vast, it is so complex. Then comes the desire in the mind. You want to achieve something. The thoughts are running, thoughts are going on, and out of thoughts, the desire comes. So for desire, there is a shlok. So many desires are there. So Bhagavan Krishna says in chapter 2, verse 70, Apuri manam achal pratishtham samudra mapa pravishanti yadat tadat kama yam pravishanti sarvesha shanti mapanoti na kam kami. Just as the ocean remains undisturbed by the incessant desires and had receiving waters from rivers merging into, likewise the sage, unmoved despite the flow of desirable object, attains peace, and not the person who strives to satisfy the desires. So here is a very wise advice. The desire will keep coming. So many, you want to do so many things. You want to achieve so many things. You want to possess so many things. The desires are endless. But when you contemplate, when you go deep down and you analyze, for this, the science of meditation is there. Science of meditation, the art of meditation is there. You go within and analyze your thoughts, which is not easy. Till I was 40 plus 50, I was saying, what thought here? What is going in my mind? I know, I learn and I deliver. I learn from the books, I hear from my teachers, and I deliver. What thought is going on? What desire? I was very perplexed till by quite some time. Then somebody introduced the Buddhist chanting, and while I was chanting, I could see the clouds of thoughts. And I could ask them, what is this behind the chanting? Something is running. Even they were not so competent to explain me. But when I again got deeper into the studies, I realized it through the meditation. Yes, these are the clouds. Clouds, something from the past, something from the future. These clouds of thoughts are moving and they are forming the desires. So one has to work a lot on yourself to know your thoughts, to know your desire. It is not easy. Like Lord Krishna says, asanshayam mahabahu. So what I am confessing that it was very difficult to read my thoughts. What is going on? Like a shoot, the action comes, the reaction comes from your mind, from your tongue rather. They say, without, and I used to wonder from where this reaction came. I never thought about it. So one has to calm the mind. One has to calm the mind with practice, meditation, and a lot of work, a lot of techniques are available these days where you see, you decide what works for you and be calm and then take action. Then comes our emotional health. These days, EQ is given a lot of importance. Earlier, IQ was there, intelligence quotient. Now, emotional quotient. How you balance yourself emotionally. That is a corporate word. They are checking your EQ. So here, your feelings and your anger is the biggest vice, the biggest enemy inside. And if you can control that, you have quite a bit of your reactions. So here is again a shlok from chapter 2, verse 62 and 63, both are combined. Dhyaito vishyan punsa sangasteshu upchayate. Sangat sanjayate kama kamat krodho abhijayate. Krodhat bhavati sammoha sammohat smriti vibrama. Smriti bhanshat buddhinasha buddhinasha pranashyati. So a man contemplates sense objects. Vishay. Vishay is anything, it's vast. Vishay can be what you want to have, some crockery. You want to have a big bungalow. You want to have a car. Yeah, you want to have a nice companion, and you have no zero in for that. Or maybe you want to study in some school. The Vishay can be endless. So when we think about the objects, the attachment arises, and then desire arises to possess it. And when desire is not fulfilled, you feel frustrated. And when you're frustrated, the anger arises. And when anger arises, your mental faculties are deluded. And when your mental faculties are deluded, you cannot take the right action. You cannot take the right action. And that man or that person is destined to perish. His downfall is. So a calmness is a quality of a great quality, a great virtue. Serenity is a great virtue. It is not that no anger doesn't come. It comes over a trivial nature. A lady, the lady wife is there and she's finicky about the cleanliness. She sees a dust particle and she flares into anger. She's so upset. Oh my God, so much of dust around. Oh, mud. Some guest stepped in. Her carpet got little muddy. And she's so upset all the time. She's thinking about that and she's screaming later, no, what kind of a guest, and they don't know manners and they do this and that. So there can be very trivial matter to a big matter. So one has to observe oneself that what you're doing. And is it okay to be angry? Or you just blast like a volcano? They have seen people blasting like a volcano over a trivial matter. When you come to know, there was nothing. But then the quarrel starts with that anger, emotion of anger. So the EQ is very important, and one has to observe that. And no pill is there. In medical science, there is no pill. But the people misuse a lot of medicines for their happiness, for their joy. The drugs are there, the morphine, which we use for painkiller. And very, very, very in the strict condition, it is not given over the counter, but the people are using, they're producing, and they're intoxicating themselves. So where the mind is dead, the mental faculties gradually go dead, and he goes into tamas and perishes. So everything has to be thought about, given a thought, and then we can have a response, and then we can act on that. Another emotional thing which Bhagavad Gita tells us is you come above the pair of opposites, likes, dislikes, happiness, sadness. Your passion and your hatred. No, you control that and try and come above that. Which is again a difficult task. Here the verse says, Rag dvesh vimaktestu vishyan indresh charan atma vashye vidhe atma prasadam adhigacchati. So passion and hatred. One who controls the mind and is free from attachment and aversion, even while using the object of senses, attain to God. So going to God is becoming the God-like. It is not a one-day process. It is a process of long, as per our scriptures says, many births you have to take to polish these qualities of dualities, to come over the dualities. So Sukha Dukkhe Samekritva, another verse I remember which Lord Krishna said in the second chapter only. Sukha Dukkhe Samekritva Labha Labho Jaya Jayo Tato Yuddha Yujasvanevam Papam Avyapsasi. So if you do in that calmness and your mental faculties are functioning fine, then your decision will be fine. And in the battlefield, if you kill your enemy, you won't get a path because your action is there. The soldier, when they fight to kill. And where they're fighting for the country, to defend their own countrymen, and the enemy is in front, they have to kill or they have to die. The death is so near, it's just in front. and where they put their heart and soul and kill the other person and get killed in the process. But there's no pap in that. That's what the Lord Krishna explains in this verse. So emotional health is very important. And in today's time, we are just having a lot of problems. People are going to psychiatrists, people are going to psychologists. They are not able to manage their mind. They are not able to manage their emotions. They are getting disturbed very often, and they are seeking help very often. There are a lot of reasons for that. The nuclear families are there, where the parents are busy working, and they don't have time for children. They don't have time even for interaction. Their interaction, they are just busy, and the children are seeking refuge somewhere else and getting misguided at times. And or the clinical psychologist is a safer place. Now, the small children are also suffering. I was so amazed. One day I went to NIMHANS in Bangalore. There's a Neuromedical Science Institute. And there was a department of child psychiatry and adolescent psychiatry, which was full of patients. And I was so amazed. In our time, there was nothing like that. There should be only one psychiatrist. Psychology was a new branch. Nobody was there. But see the in present time, the stress in the human system. And it's tremendous. It's tremendous. The psychiatric illnesses are on rise, where the importance of Bhagavad Gita comes in today's time also, that we have to manage our mind and we have to manage our emotions very, very, with lot of awareness and lot of wisdom. And knowing about your emotion, that you're suffering at times, is also not easy. It's very, very difficult task. One has to work on that very diligently and persistently. Then comes what I talked about earlier, ego, ahankar. Ahankar is a vice, which is there because we are produced out of ahankar. Somebody gifted with a nice body, everybody's around in the social system will say, wow, so beautiful, yay, blessed. This ahankar comes, the person starts thinking, yeah, I'm so blessed to have this body. And somebody is highly qualified, everybody around is praising, wow, so qualified, so he's earning this much. And ahankar is mamka. Because you have shown something different. So when you become different, the ego arises. And if you are like common, later will come that Krishna consciousness, when you all are alike, all energies are alike, ego is taken care of. Here Lord Krishna is explaining in another way. In chapter 3, verse 27, Prakrite kriyamanani gune karmani sarvasha ahankar vimud atma karta ahamiti manate. We are manufactured out of Prakriti, and we are under 3 gunas, Sato, Rajo, and Tamo, like I mentioned earlier. And there is an interplay of that in a life. It is not fixed. Somebody in Sato gun will be receiving throughout. At times, there is no, children have to go to school and you have to prepare your tiffin and their tiffin, and you have to come into action. You automatically come into Rajogun. And then you have to attend the conference, you come again in Satogun, but internally you are very active, listening and participating. And then comes the tamogun. No, at times you're very tired. Maybe you had a wrong food, maybe the posture was wrong, something happened and you're very lethargic. So there's an interplay, but one gun predominates the other. And because of this guna, we are acting in this world. We are acting in this world and we are not the doer. So it free ourselves from the bandhan jo hamare kaat deta hai, this shlok, but you are not the doer. Your prakriti is a doer. Your nature inside is a doer. So this is the meaning of this. And this is very useful in my life. Whenever some arrogance come, I refer back to this shlok. Then we come to our final friend, I call it, because as a medical graduate, we have seen death. Our career start with death. Our learning start with death, a dead body. That is a cadaver. So when we were young people, 17, 18 years old, boys and girls, 6 sitting up around the body. And we were so scared. Oh my God, there's a nail polish. Still, I remember that cadaver. 40 years have passed, more than 40 years when I was a student. And I still remember that dead body, the nail polish on her. But then our professor came, our teacher came, lecturer came. Have you touched? So everybody was so scared. No, touch it, touch it. That was our first day. And gradually, by the time we learn the intricate system, the muscular system, the cardiovascular system, the physiology. And we are with the same body for 1.5 years. And then after dissecting the body, a small portion of skull remains and all. And then at times there is a fight also. You have taken my skull. It was on our table. You have taken. So that kind of thing we have seen in our childhood. We have grown with the dead bodies. And then we come to the patients where we see miseries. By the 22, 23, when the youth is enjoying life in the college, the medical graduate is with the misery of life. He's treating. He's learning from them. His own life has not started. He's in the midst of misery. And the depression is bound to come. Any normal person, the duties are so long, you don't have time to breathe. And if you have time to breathe, then you have to study, you have to prepare for your next level of education. There's no time. There's no time. And I remember going for a small movie also used to make us guilty, since we were staying in hostel. So the bubbling mind was there. We would go out. Oh my God! No! Oh my God! That girl is studying so much. She must have covered so much. I have to study so much. So that kind of a fear were there. Fear were there, but one has to get over those fears. And your practice teaches you, our seniors, so much of gratitude for them. Our professors, when going for the rounds, he said that if you kill a patient, I cannot forgive. So in medical practice, a negligence is nil. There is no choice of question. You have to study whole. So that is a pressure on a medical student. I'm just sharing. And death is when we start learning, the death is our first fear. But every medical graduate remember the first death he is certified. We have studied in books, the respiration stops, the heart stops, and your pupils, the circle inside the eye when you put light is dilated. That is the time the death is declared. And I remember how shaky I was in the medical college during the emergency duty at 11:30, 12 o'clock at the night. There was a tuberculosis ward, and I was called to certify death. All alone, a young woman going in the dark night, and there was a ward empty, and trembling, I went to the ward master. I said, where is a dead body? Where is a death? Not dead body, where is a death? And I looked at that person, and then ward boy encouraged, no, put a stethoscope. I said, okay, died, I'll certify, I'll write. Whatever seniors told me, I said, I'll write. He said, no, put a stethoscope. I went near, shaky. And the fear of death was there for long. People think the doctors have seen death, they will overcome fast. No, not at all. They are ordinary mortals. Death shakes them. They are fighting against death. Their journey is against death. And if the patient dies, the journey is finished. So they are the warriors in the battlefield throughout their life. The medical person in the ICU, he is among the dead, in the fear of death. He used to organize so much. He's in the middle of intense activity. And after doing so much, and which drug to give and monitor, there are paramedics for monitoring oxygen level throughout, and every second checking their parameters, their vitals. And anything goes wrong, your conscious breaks. Generally, nothing goes wrong because they are so alert in their ICU. And after that, then Gita says that, no, you do action and then leave the result. The doctor gives the best of the medicine as per their knowledge, the best of the treatment, and the outcome can be anything. The person can have a very strong reaction to the drug. That is not in the hand of doctor. He cannot perceive that this drug will not treat this patient, but he's allergic to it. Once we inject the drug, then only the allergy will manifest. There's no system to check. Few drugs are there where initially, like the penicillin came, they used to check for the sensitivity and then. And during the research, a lot of mishaps happen because few good human beings, they offer themselves for research of the drugs. So when patients say that, doctor, you're writing so many. I said, we have a gratitude for these medicines because they have not come easy. Simple tablet of paracetamol, the scientists have spent his life to bring a tablet of syrup of paracetamol across the counter. You see how much human efforts has gone into the one simple drug like Avil or paracetamol. These are the oldest drug I mentioned. There are much newer things which would keep happening. And like salt and sugar, everything has side effects. If you take salt in excess, if you take in less amounts, you will collapse. If you take sugar in less amount, then your brain will not function because body's nutrition is sugar. Ultimately, everything is converting into sugar. So the simple looking things like sugar and salt can give side effects. Then these drugs act at a particular point, very, very specific. They can have a side effect. So the faith in the doctor, what I want to say, to heal, have faith in the doctor. And if you don't have a faith, don't go. Otherwise, people go for medical tourism. No, 1-2 days this doctor, second day that doctor, third day this. They will keep criticizing without knowing the depth of medical knowledge, without consulting. When I write a prescription, they will not ask me, doctor, what is this drug for? They will go for the chemist shop. I have given him for certain ailments. One drug can be given for 10 different things. Chemist with his limited knowledge will say, sone ki dawai. Oh my God, my purpose of writing is defeated. I have given him for morning. He said, sone ki dawai patient will take in the evening. He's so anxious. The patient is so anxious. I have given a medicine to reduce his anxiety so he can work. But then we had to tell the chemist, please don't open your mouth. If the patient has to ask anything, he'll come back to doctor and the doctor will explain. It's just I'm explaining from the experiences from my own life so you understand the intricacies. The intricacies and the responsibility on the doctor, especially surgeon who is in the OT operation theater, anesthetist, they are under tremendous stress. They are under tremendous stress. It's not easy. However, the senior the surgeon maybe, they are under tremendous stress because life is in their hand. And death shakes them as well as the common mortals. And here is a shlok which tells us beautifully to understand death. Here he says, Lord Krishna is saying verse 2, verse 22. Vasansi jirnani yatha vihai, navani granati naro aparani, tatha sharirani vihai jirna, anyanyani sanyati navani dehi. As the person sheds worn out garments and wears new one, likewise, at the time of death, the soul casts off its worn out body and enters a new one. So easier said because each shlok of Gita is so deep, you need evolved people to understand that. The magic and mysticism of Gita is very vast. It requires just 3 to 4 shloks. You work sincerely in your life, you will be able to sail through life and understand the reality of life, the impermanence of life. And finally, we had seen in the first picture, the Arjuna is there, all lost his will to fight. And here he is so full of action, single pointedness with arrow in his hand. So similarly, we all of us, when we follow the teachings of Gita, the vast teaching of Gita, and understand and contemplate on that, and then work on ourselves and act, and with a lot of faith and reverence, deep respect for the teaching. Then we come with the, Then we come to the faith aspect. When the faith in the doctor is there, the healing is better. When you become fearless, you don't have fear of death, the healings become better. The doctors I discussed with have said that yes, the fearless person recovers very faster, his healing is better, and survival chances are better because his immunity is better. Fear plays havoc with the system. The central teaching of Gita is fearlessness. It's telling you about the death also. It's like a worn out garment, so take it easy. And when it comes, when your body is worn out, just be ready to leave. So it's preparing you for a death. And when you are fearless, the anxiety is not there. And you have faith in the medical fraternity, in the Lord, in the higher consciousness, higher self, then the healing is much, much better. The medicines will be able to work much, much better. That is a documented documented discovery, and with my experience also. with my experience also. Like person going in the operation theater, we give medication to calm them. So the operation is better. There are a lot of medicines which immediately calms. The anesthetist gives that calming medicines. So the fears come down. Because in fear, your sympathetic system is activated. The stress hormone is activated. Cortisol. And the cortisol is a stress hormone, which is in abundance, which makes you very, very jittery, shaky. And there is another system, parasympathetic. In the yoga system, we call it Ida and Pingala, the left nostril breathing and right. Lot of things have happened, but now there is a holistic approach. Medical science is also incorporating other healing modalities, so we can approach the person, the individual, and offer best what we can to the suffering humanity. In the end, when the death occurs, generally it's been seen, especially in the medical system, what we see is just wrap up the body, hand over, formalities finished. Oh no, oh no. What we talk about emotions, what about the people who are devastated, who have lost their dear ones? Where is the support system? Here we tried to save the person, could not. We finished the formality, put it in a mortuary, hand over, and the job finishes. Here I want what Hippocrates taught us, empathize. The medical science has to come up with a system where we give the support system to the family members. Because the person has gone, but the family is suffering. The friends are suffering. They will remember the person for ages. Some may not be able to come out of that grief. We are the support system of the society, support system of the family, extended family is there. Because after death, the people who are living need support. So earlier, the system of family physician was there. Like I am a general physician. We are into intimate relationship. For small little problem, they will come to us. They have faith in us. They will discuss their personal matters also. So anything goes wrong, we know. So we become their family members. But here, the science is so advanced. For small little thing, there is a specialty, super specialty, super specialty, where the contact with the patient is not intimate because of the scenario. So a holistic approach has to be. Holistic approach. Here the patient is also confused. I've got pain, some problem in my nose. He'll run to the ENT. Aribhai, you can come to the general. If the child has got something in the nose, they will run to the ENT. Aribhai, come to the pediatrician. Bhai. He can treat your all elements of your nose, throat, everywhere, whole body. They're trained that way. So agyan of the common man has to be removed. That is the responsibility of the medical fraternity. That tell them how to approach for the disease. They're confused. The internet is there. They're getting all wrong information. And the lady is pregnant. She's searching internet, bombarding the gynecologist with all kind of questions. Gynecologist irritated where you are getting all this rubbish knowledge. And then you are in grip of fear. So one has to decide whom to ask for. Whom to ask for. Google is not an answer for everything. It'll confuse you thoroughly. If you have to ask the physician whom you have faith, he will explain you. And don't go to the 10 people like shopping for the same, because everybody has got different subjective perception of the this thing. They will go to paramedics. They have knowledge, but their knowledge is limited. And so horrifying situation being a medical professional I've seen. I had gone a home visit. There was a lady, just young, 60 years old, not very old. And she was lying down with this no element in her body. I said, how come she has become like this? She says, because she was resting like this throughout. There was a pain in the body. So she was resting in this condition. So her all joints became fixed in this condition. What a horrifying sight. The person is healthy, the pulse, BP, everything is fine, skin is healthy. And the joints are locked because she took rest so much. My God, that agyan was there, that all joints have to be moved. Yeah, your finger joint, everything. If you keep on resting, these muscles will perish within no time, especially in the old age. Your bone will go for 6 if you don't walk. How much calcium you follow? It will not absorb if you don't walk. So agyan is there. Oh, I know the calcium's to be taken after 6 years. You'll pop in calcium, vitamin D. But no exercise, man. What will happen? Your body is born to perish. You're born to perish. So ask your physicians, be intimate with them, stick to them, and with your calm wisdom, you do medical shopping. Go from this. If you don't have faith, go. But at least use your mental faculties discriminately to treat yourself, to live yourself in a wise way. Because there is a lot of agyan around, and I'm afraid. Because I'm not able to answer all questions my children ask. So they go to Google, I refer them to my friends, they're specialists. I said, I am not able to handle this child. Please explain. So they devote a lot of time to explain them to their inquisitive mind, which is seeing all this. My son would say, Mama, today you said this, and after 6 months you are saying, so what can I do? Science is always evolving process. Today they say this, after 6 months, 1 year, another research come and they say they contradict this research. So we have to go by the latest. But by the latest, what the scientists are saying, what the faculties are saying, we are under them. If anything goes wrong, they will just sack us. So I said, what can I do? Now he is the scientist himself. He knows the intricacies. He knows the problems, what arises. So what I'm trying to say here is it's an intricate thing, and learn to look after yourself well, be in a higher life condition, be full of energy, and that will be there unless you will not be there unless you look after your physical body, your emotional body, your mental body very well. And the strength comes from the spiritual knowledge. Swadhyay, the scriptures they have mentioned, Swadhyay, daily study something about yourself, what the wisdom of the higher self is there. They daily study and revise, so it goes deeper inside. And we all live life full of bounty, full of energy, full of happiness. And when death comes to us, we embrace it as a friend, as a sakha, because it is giving us liberty from this body, which as such has got certain shelf life. It has to go. Somebody early, somebody back. We cannot predict. But when it comes, you are calm, you are relaxed. And ultimately, so here I covered Bhagavad Gita, medical science, death, in my own wisdom, and what I have studied from the text, which I have discussed with the friends. Lot of gratitude to my family members, to my husband especially, who introduced Gita to me. When I got married to him, I saw this Bhagavad Gita on his table, where he would bow daily and go for his office. So that was my first introduction, because in my maternal house, we follow Ramayana. So I was inquisitive what he's going down and daily some studying. And then I used to hear verses from him. So then I went deeper into this, and here is offering to you. So a lot of gratitude to my family and my friends who were learned and who guided me for this presentation. And thank you so much.
ACHLA ji, we have got some questions from the audience. Should I read out the questions so that we can have a small question and answer session?
Yeah.
So the first question is from Dr. Sunil Bansal. Dr. ACHLA, it was an exceptional deliberation on connection of science and Bhagavad Gita. How can a person control in mind and thoughts? If you have some ideas.
Mind and thoughts have to be controlled by central teaching of Gita. Like the shlok I said, Apure Manam Achal Pratishtham. So the thoughts, too much thoughts are there, too much desires are there, and then the attachment to your possession is there, your clothes, your car, your bungalow. So gradually you have to see that you yourself are impermanent in this life, and so are your possessions. Some volcano comes, some flood came, it will be gone. But if you're so attached to it, you will be in misery. So they are to be used as long as you are here, but no attachment. You have to take good care of yourself. Detachment doesn't mean that you don't have to take good care of yourself. You have to take very good care of yourself, your possessions, everything, but not being attached, which is so difficult to practice. so difficult to practice. And one has to work on oneself continuously, meditation, dhyan, we call it. We have to sit in silence and see. And with practice, we learn to control our thoughts. Oh my God, and then they're help. You take a tablet of anxiolytic, your diazepam and alprazolam. They have to calm your thoughts. Medical science also has got things once you cannot control. Headache is there, and this and there. The medical people use once in a while. The sleep has gone haywire. Then you have to calm down. Calm down. Initially, it doesn't happen just by sitting in meditation. At times, meditation will not help unless you are a very senior or very persistent practitioner. The results are shown gradually. Otherwise, you will see a lot of confusion. You have to be in control of your emotions also. So if the emotions are not controlled, then the thoughts will be again going haywire. So basically, control of the mentality and the thoughts will be controlled.
Yeah, as in Bhagavad Gita says, Nishkam karma. So if you work towards the fruit of your karma, then you'll get attached to it, and then that would actually prosper to your mind. So we have got another question, Ashley. How to combine medical science with spiritual sciences?
Medical science is a spiritual sciences, like I said, are connected with Bhagavad Gita. They are not separate. They are part of the holistic healing. Spiritual science and medical science, like you pointed out very correctly, you do the job and then don't get attached to it, the outcome. So karmanyavadhikaraste, the famous shlok is there. Ma phaleshu kadachan ma phal hetu bhurma. So don't get attached, but it's difficult to do. You do so much for that person. You go out of the way, and that person respond to you in a very, very funny way. And so, oh my God, how much I did for that person. That automatically the thought process will go. But then you have to check that I have done my karma. I have done this help, nishkam karma, unconditional work. And now it's up to that person. Now you get detached with that. One has to practice, a lot of practice for that. And then in one of the verses in the, I think, 10th chapter, the Lord says, the person who gets upset by no one and doesn't upset anyone is very dear to me. Tell me from your life's experience, anyone, is it easy? You get upset by no one and you upset no one. If you upset anyone, you are not that upset because you are into your own emotion. But somebody upsets you, what a chain of thoughts goes on. What the chain of thought goes on. So what Lord Krishna is saying, get upset by no one. You become so calm, you so controlled in your senses, in your higher faculty, that you don't get upset by anyone and you don't upset anyone. So much aware about your action, your speech, your conduct, everything.
Yeah, that's a fantastic answer, Ashlaji. This is really good. Dr. Vala, do you have any more question to Ashlaji? This is actually coming from a doctor as well. The combination of medical science with spiritual science.
Thank you very much, Andy. Yes, I enjoyed the talk. I also happen to have worked in the army at the same rank as a major for about 18 years, alongside my work in NHS as a consultant anesthetist. The first comment I would like to make is the fact that medical science is basically to do with body and sometimes with mind, depending on the specialty of the practitioner, and also depending on the disease of the patients. Spiritual science is not taught in medical sciences, and therefore it has to be learned separately, which is what we all did, those who were interested in Bhagavad Gita and spiritual sciences. In the past, when we go to ancient Sanatan Dharma, the rishis were scientists who combined spiritual science with medical sciences, social sciences, and depending on their own specialty, they combined that very well. that is something that is missing today. There are not many people who manage to combine spiritual science with the material sciences of whatever specialty. So that I would like to encourage everyone, whatever subject they take, to make sure that spiritual science is combined. At least they should read Bhagavad Gita and understand it. Point number 2, again, it comes to that same phrase, Abhyasa Yogena Kaunteya, that with practice, we all get better, even the doctors get better. I've been working in the field of anesthetics 51 years. And apart from initial training days, I don't think I'm ever anxious at the time of working. Yes, I might have some concerns about the patients, I control them and all that, but anxiety in a doctor reflects on the patients as well. So they shouldn't be anxious. They should work out the plan and stick to the plan. That way they reduce the anxiety. So that's an important point. Some of the new studies have shown that a doctor who is confident and the patient has a good deal of faith in that person, then that positivity of the doctor brushes on the patient. If the doctor is a bit anxious, and that is common in the training days, then the patient loses faith in the doctor, and they don't then get the benefit of it either. So to get the benefit for the patients, it's important that the doctor has at least some element of spiritual science in their practice. And that is, at least partly covered by the talk today. There are a lot of other things that we can learn from Bhagavad Gita in our own life. So it's putting Gita into practice that is far more important than just reading Bhagavad Gita. Like anything else, Gita
Very well said.
padhao,
Very well said. You have evoked a thought, very important thought, which would I like to share, is that teaching of Bhagavad Gita begins from the conduct of parents. That is the first teacher in your house. So if they follow the conduct as per the teaching, calmness, and in the situation, emergency situation, the child is automatically learning before he's learning to speak even. He's observing. He's learning by observing the conduct of family people, the parents, the grandparents around. How? So the teaching of Gita, the spiritual sciences begins at home. So once individual person is working on himself, the child will automatically learn. And then curriculum in the school level and the college level, whatever stream, you have to manage yourself. Before becoming a management stalwart, management guru, manage yourself. So here is a science. Here is a spiritual science which tells you how to manage yourself. You have to act with compassion. Doctor has to act with compassion, but the ego should not flare up. The doctor, what you rightly said, is full of calmness. Automatically, he has a line of patients, 70, 80. I have seen doctors who attend very keenly to the patient. Their OPDs is running at 3 o'clock. Morning is coming and operating also. Orthopedic surgeon, I remember in Hyderabad, I had gone. His OPD runs and the doctor fantastically explains the people. What MRI? I know my clinical science. MRI is just magnifying the thing. I know symptomatically what it is. He checks the joint and tells. These sophisticated tests are actually the aid to us, but they cannot match our cognitive skills, our experience. Once we are confused, we want to reconfirm exactly what it is so we can modify our treatment or mention the surgery. But your clinical experience is most important. And patients recognize this without the doctor. If the doctor is anxious and all, over the period of time, patients are a teacher. Each patient teaches us something. We learn from them how to tackle them. But if it is there in our curriculum, we wouldn't have faced so much hardship in our practice, which we have learned in our own way, how to talk to patients, how to declare death. That has to come. Lot has to be done. Lot has to be done in the medical field also, you rightly said. But the teaching begins from home. then it will
Yeah,
come
if I
to
Yes,
can,
this is
if
a
I can just add one more final comment from me. There is an organization called Gita Parivar, and website is learngita.com.
Yes.
They teach in several languages, Monday to Friday, each week, just for 40 minutes. Yep. And their motto summarizes their teaching, which is Gita Padho, Padhao, or Jivan Mein Lao. So read
Absolutely.
Gita, then start teaching Gita, and then bring it in your life as much as you can. And that way you will succeed, no matter what specialty you are, what career you are in. And I've been through their courses, which are brilliant. Those who can manage to take exams, they have exams and they get titles alongside the exams as well. But they are available in multiple languages. And
Very nice.
also
You're
you can
doing a
choose.
lot, sir. I'm aware of that. And the
Yeah.
audience will also get enlightened by your talk, Gita Parivar. My cousin also appeared and did in the exams very well. They recite shloka, full adhyay they can recite without seeing.
Yes.
At
So
one go.
that's very good to go for.
Correct pronunciation is
yeah.
taught
If
to
you
them.
can, if you can send the details in your sort of WhatsApp group, then other people who are interested, Dr. Wala, they'll be
Learngita.com.
they'll
Simple.
learn. Yeah.
Learngita.com.
Okay. Yeah, we did thoroughly enjoy the conversation between two doctors for
Thank you very
medical
much
science and
indeed. Thank you.
spirituality.
Thank you, sir.
But yeah,
Thank you, Dr. Balmukan.
Thank you, Ji.
yeah, but from
Enjoyed it.
but from
we should meet sometime.
Definitely.
But from my side as a non-doctor, I see there's a huge difference between the medical sciences and spirituality. I think the spirituality main focus, if you look at it, the Bhagavad Gita says that we don't die. Jatasya dhruva mrityu dhruvam janma mritasya cha. So you never die, your Atman lives on, right? Nahannate hannamane sarira. You just live, and you have quoted another sloka, right? You just leave the body, but your soul resides. But medical science does not agree to that. Your science is related to our body only, not the spirituality. Spirituality starts when where medical science ends. That was my initial feeling. But of course, basically, I've got like a lot more qualification to think about the connection, and I think you enlightened us in this matter.
Yeah, well, the main thing to remember is, like I said in my little comment, I've covered that. The medical science only talks about body and mind at the most. We don't cover spiritual science within it. It's like a computer scientist. If you start asking him about human body, he might not be able to tell unless he has learned it from his computer itself. So, there are limits to any science that we study. But if whatever science we study, to put it very bluntly, if you study only the science but no spirituality as a side subject, then you are a scientist of a lower, tamasic or rajasic type of scientist, but not a sattvic and beyond. So it's important that we introduce spiritual sciences within our practices.
Correct. And there are lots of even medical scientists, they're actually studying our brain more minutely. There are lots of studies going on our consciousness, where the consciousness is coming from, what is the source. Can we explain it through medical science, the exact functioning of our brain and things like that? I'm quite interested. I sort of look at it as a
the quantum physics and quantum chemistry, they are doing a lot of work, but it's too intricate for me to comment anything. I'll have to request a scientist who can give a talk in relation to the spiritual realm and science, because science ultimately reaches where the equality, like everything is proton, neutron, electron, no, and there is the energy system. Everything is manifested, and the similarity in the cosmos. So somebody else, some scientists can throw light on that. I welcome them. And before that, just go into your realm. Every 2 to 3 hours, just close your eyes, check yourself, scan yourself from your body to mind, check your feeling, check your emotion at that moment within the fraction of 2 minutes and see where you are. Do you need rest? Are you agitated? Are you calm? Are you happy? Are you tired? What you need to do next? So at least scan yourself quickly. No? Otherwise, somebody is working in this posture and computer and head is like this. Naturally, there's bound to be a pain in the shoulder. There's bound to be pain in the neck. So that awareness about self is very important. That is a correlation between medical science.
Andy, there are some hands.
Sorry to cut you off. There are a few more questions.
Can I add something to Dr. the Anindya Das Gupta's question?
Yes, please.
Okay, you are asking that, and also Dr. I think Bala saying that spirituality we need to learn separately. Yes, definitely. And our science does not recognize or identify Atma or anything, or they do not recognize. But in recent past, like last 10, 15 years, 20 years, quantum physics has come to a point that they recognize that there is a quantum soul. Actually, it is a one step towards recognizing there is a spirit soul which exists with us and which is beyond scientific knowledge at the moment. What they say that quantum soul is actually a vibration of the microtubules of our brain. Our brain has millions of billions of neurons, and the tiny part of that neurons is called microtubules. So they say that the vibration of that microtubules is the quantum soul. But at the same time, they also recognize and admit and acknowledge that science are not up to that level to identify that when at the time of death, when the clinical death happens and the patient come back to life after an hour or couple of hours or few minutes, all the information come back to life. They cannot explain how it is possible. But spiritual point of view, Bhagavad Gita and our Upanishads clearly say it is the power of consciousness of the spirit soul. All the information is around us and it come back and it can go and come back easily with full memory. So that is actually, it is a research of spiritual research, not as such at the moment, scientific research. But they are slowly coming to the point of our Vedic scriptures that there is a spirit soul and it is beyond human comprehension at the moment.
Yeah, this is really nice answer.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I think Haradan Bhomik Dada,
physicist,
he raised his hand. Anindya, Haradan Bhomik Dada, please. Can you hear us? Haradan Dada, you raised your hand. Okay, maybe he's not available. Nilima, do you want to say something?
Hello.
Oh,
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Thank you very much. Namaskar to you, all of you. And it's nice to taking part a very influential sessions on Bhagavad Gita with regard to the medical science as well. But it has been a long journey we've been going through until now. The science have been struggling to find out what the Gita has said in its different verses. As for example, in as you said in the chapter verses 22 of chapter 2, Bhashangsi Jinnani Jatahabhiyaya Navani Dinnati Nara Purani Tata Sharirani Bihaya Jinnani Nani Samjati Navani. That means our soul is immortal. That whereas the science cannot approve until now whether soul is there or not. So how can they approve this verse sloka with us? So there are so many examples in which are in Bhagavad Gita where medical science cannot approve or cannot reach. Thus, in Bhagavad Gita, it is said we have got manifold of universes, manifold of Brahmanda, but still science is confined, limited to one Brahmanda only. Even though we could not discover all the planets and other stars, still now they are still trying to find out. So there are numerous things which Gita, Bhagavan Sri Krishna, what he said in his Bhagavad Gita or in Mahabharata. So that enormous knowledge in our abundance of knowledge in our religious books, which we are still to find out. We can, medical science only a tiny bit of knowledge where whole universe, whole nature, whole creations are defined. So I really and sincerely appreciate you have given so many explanation examples of our physical relations of our physical body mind with the Bhagavad Gita slokas, and hopefully I will take lessons of it, and I will try to understand and enjoy the essence of Bhagavad Gita. And thank you very much, and thank you very much to Dr. Datta as well to give us this opportunity to take part on it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Harananda. So, anybody else have any questions? So, we'll plan to finish it in next like 5 to 10 minutes.
Can I make a point?
Just very quickly, spiritual world, we must recognize that spiritual world is different to material world. The laws of spiritual world are different to material world laws. It's only our body that has a combination of the two. But whatever subject we study, it is different to the spiritual science. So the spiritual science is totally different. It acts on a different laws and different way. And the ways to attain spiritual progress is all given in Bhagavad Gita in different chapters and different yogas in it. But that's, it's like asking a physicist to talk about chemistry or a chemist to talk about mathematics. Yes, they can talk about it, but they can't go in depth on that particular subject. They have to go to the professor of that particular subject in it. Having said that, if one combines the spiritual science in their own life, then it becomes easier to understand their own specialty subjects as well, and they get better and better with that. Partly it is to do with the education system that we have. In ancient India, education system started with combination of spiritual practices and the material practices at the same time. So the Gurukul system that we had in the past started with studies of Bhagavad Gita and other sciences, and at the same time, they taught them mathematics and physics and chemistry and all that from that time. And that is what we need today. That is the need of the day. Because if we don't do that, then we are just learning from outside. The internal learning has to be combined with the external learning. Then only it becomes very effective. Otherwise, it remains very, very, low-level type of learning. It doesn't reach the highest level. And that explains why some people go up in their career ladder and become professors and well recognized worldwide, because somehow they managed to combine these two. So my advice or suggestion to everybody would be, no matter what subject you are studying, spend some time learning about spiritual science somehow, whichever method you use. But Bhagavad Gita is the textbook of spirituality. So I strongly recommend people to go for it. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I think Nilima has got a question as well. Nilima, would you ask any question to here to the forum or to Dr. ACHLA.
Hi, good morning to everyone. Thank you so much, Dr. SITHI, for this nice conversation. I don't know how to explain my gratitude to you. The topic we're discussing today, it's covering everyone's life nowadays. You've been talking about the food, you've been talking about lifestyle and after life after end of life, which is death. So I think it's going to be endless conversation if we go to death. So what I would request you, if you could give us some ideas or suggestion on how we can manage our stress, because I think stress is nowadays biggest concern in our society. So that is one thing. And I'd like to thank you for the one advice you gave today, which is pause yourself for sometimes today and think of how you're feeling and how you can look after yourself. So that is one of the biggest thing which is really strike my mind today. So I think from today I'll practice that. I believe whoever joining the conversation today, like they're into the discussion, I believe this is something is very useful and whoever wants to implement in their daily life. Thank you so much, Dr. SITHI.
Thank you, Neelam. So nice of you to appreciate and get the essence for what I spoke. That pause. That was you hit the bullseye. One need to pause and take account. This is, I call it a self-scan. So here your dry eyes is a problem because of the excess screen time. The muscles are getting fatigued, the eye muscles, there are eye problems. So eye specialists always say, ophthalmologists always say, look, after 20 minutes, you look at the distant object, at the far away places, move your eyes, rest to right to left. Similarly, all joints, they are meant to move. When you see the ancient man, they moved from tree to tree, jumped like a monkey. That much of strength a human body can attain. The warriors were holding swords, but the times have changed. We are losing our muscle strength, so we have to work daily abhyas, daily physical activity. But not too much. It can be a foolish. There are machines in the gym where person is competing with the imaginary screen and somebody rowing the boat, and he had a cardiac arrest because he was overdoing. So here again, the moderation is required. You have to use your wisdom, how much physical exercise to do, how much your body is allowing. It is a machinery gifted to you. It is a present. You have not invested in anything in your body. It is a gift from your parents. It's a gift from the mother nature. And you are sustaining it from the material, from the mother nature. So you keep that gift very nicely, look after it, and you know the wisdom, the ways it should be looked after. It's cleanliness. In the yoga, they call it 8 Ashtanga Yoga: Yam, Niyam, Pranayam, Pratyahar, Dhyan, and all. So Yam Niyam becomes the mental this thing. Yam, you how to do cleaning of the body daily, and cleanliness of then comes your social conduct, Yam Niyam, and then you have to do asana, physical exercise, pranayam, the breath work. Whole lot of things is available. It's on platter. We are so lucky. It's from our ancestors given us free, and we learn to choose whether you go to gym, whether you go for yoga class, whether you go to taekwondo, you go to some other physical activity, you go for a game of tennis, you go for a game of badminton, table tennis, swimming. So many, the thousands of activity are available. Adventure sports are available, but adventure sports has got its own danger. But otherwise, gym and this yoga abhyas and all are safe pursuit. So there's so much to choose from. So you have to look after your physical self, you have to mental, emotional, what I say, the health, and the spiritual also we covered. Spiritual health is mentioned in WHO. So everything cannot be taught in school. Everything cannot be taught in the college. But yes, it should be the integral part of the education, one subject. Like moral science in our time, it used to be there. Some stories used to be there. So in the way the child can understand the teachings of Gita, like Panchatantra stories are there for children to learn, no? And in a very amusing way from the moral of the story. So similarly, we have to introduce in the school level, in the college level, and afterwards at the workplace also, because the stress is there. Like Neelam told, that stress is a major problem these days. So much there are the single parents because of the matrimonial discord. There are lonely people because the joint family is not there. There's nobody to take care of the lonely person alone. So the people are coming up. There are things, there are NGOs, but a lot has to be done. And for stress management, the best thing is to do activity, physical activity daily, to do your some pranayams, breath work, meditation daily to calm your mind. And if you fall sick, then do you have a very near doctor whom you have faith? Don't run to the super specialty, big hospitals all of a sudden because they're expensive. They'll increase your stress level. They'll increase your stress level. So better go to the base. Better go to the base and try to find out. They will refer you. Because most of the things, 98% of the things, a general physician, a medical specialist, a pediatrician, they are able to handle at their level. So go to the basic doctor and take a referral if the need. They'll quickly refer. Nobody likes to keep any emergency or deteriorating case with themselves. Quickly they will refer you to the higher center or tell you the emergency nature. So stick to one doctor, stick to their wisdom, have faith, however you want to build up that with your own wisdom, do that, and have a loving family environment. Because if you bring your work stress to home, the home is stressed. So that work stress you have to manage, how to finish that. After the work, you go to gym, or after the work, you go for walk. After you go for badminton game. So your stress is gone. The workplace stress is bound to come once you are working. It is bound to come. So, or in the home also, the stress is there because human interactions are not easy. It's very complex. So some expectations not met and all, some problem, and that you take to the workplace. So cut off at the home and cut off at the workplace. One has to work on oneself. And one with the own temperament, like I had some favorite shloks which I presented in front of you. Then you have to again dive down into the Bhagavad Gita and learn from that. And Mahatma Gandhi always said that your mother who sustained you, who raised you, will not be there forever with you. He used to call Gita Gita Ma, but Gita Ma will be there with you for your last breath. So that is the wisdom of Gita, but gradually it will percolate into your own system, and you will be able to live a stress-free life without fear, without any disturbances. Nothing will upset you. You will be a real yogi. Though it is easier said than done. Very difficult pursuit to control your mind, control your thought, be balanced in your emotion, be equanimous in all situations. It's a Herculean task. But Gita says you can do it. You can do it.
Dr. Dr. Shetty, thank you very much for the enlightening speech. We thoroughly enjoyed it, and I don't know, basically everybody I think has enjoyed it. You got so many questions to answer in the end. Now I think it's the right time. We should actually stop here. So, Dr. Datta, any concluding remarks or from you? Any concluding speech so that we can basically continue closing the session for today?
I'll not make any concluding, just wanted to say a few words. First of all, obviously, Dr. Shetty, it was not only informative, very stimulating, thought-provoking. I think we all have enjoyed and one and all appreciated the presentation you brought, combining the various facets of life, science, the health, and one of the great ancient wisdom. Thank you so much. I think we need that type of discussion very frequently to reflect on us, to revisit what we are doing, the way we are doing things, and what could be done different way. Secondly, Dr. Bhalla, what he said, just to add something that is absolutely true, that we have to revisit the education system, although we don't know whether we can change it because we are not part of the system. But education is the backbone to change the mindset, perception of the people. One thing I would like to say that we all see the Western wisdom, even in that all the philosophers, philosophies in West are well known, well spread, well informed across the globe. This may be the way West developed Renaissance and the colonial expansion those days. But I felt that Eastern wisdom has much more to offer to the world we are living now. Therefore, it is our duty. Is it not only BGRF, all Hindus' duties, anyone able to expand the Eastern philosophies like you did today? That was the many of the facets are unknown. I think that's the start. Let us bring this Indian philosophy, our ancient wisdom, from that particular region to the whole world. The problems you all are facing, the uncertainties, the hostilities in minds we are facing, it is needed. So therefore, congratulations, Dr. Shetty. It was really quite interesting. Our next international virtual conference will take place 30th of June. And I feel the same topic can be repeated. And anyone on call, if you would like to contribute to the symposium or as a speaker to our international conference, please let us know. Your support will be highly appreciated. I think that's all from me. Andy, you can, if the Bonnie would like to conclude. That's all. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, Dr. Shetty. And hope you can see the meeting chart messages, so many for you. The last one is really eye-catching, saying, thanks, ACHLA, from Taru Chawa, for letting us think in a different way. This is true. And from today, I think we all practice pranayama, yoga, meditation that can give us life easy and simple to live. Thank you very much. Thank you all. Pranam.
Thank you, Banya. Thank you so much.
ACHLA जी, मैंने मेरा WhatsApp नंबर और email address भेजा हूँ chat में. आप जल्दी से लिख लेना बंद होने के पहले.
Okay, I'll take from Banya.
Stay in touch. Stay in touch. Thank you.
No worries. Thank you.
Okay, enjoyed it very much.
Thank you very much.
30th of June is our international conference. So Dr. Shetty, please pin down, and I hope that you will be receiving our invitation.
Sure, sir.
It was really nice symposium today. Thank you. Thank you, Puruda. Thank you, Dr. ACHLA. Thanks for a nice presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, Bunadi. Thank you. Om Shanti. Shanti.
Om Shanti.
Thanks to you all.
Dr. Bhalla, make a note, everyone, 30th of June. 30th of June.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Bye-bye. Enjoy the rest of the day.
Bye.
For those who want to watch Havan, there is a Havan going on at the moment in our mandir. So I'll just show you.
We should all try to learn art of forgiveness and forgiving.